Zay, and today I wanted to react to What is Wrong with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande by Jesterbell. So, I just find it very interesting. I've heard a bunch of stuff about what's going on with these two. I have actually watched Wicked 1 and Wicked 2. Just watched Wicked 2 in movie theaters yesterday. So, it's it's interesting. Yeah, they definitely have gotten really small. They don't look like how they used to. Not even a little bit. And that's saying something in my opinion. And I just want to know someone else's opinion on the matter, and you know, I'm always here for a good debrief. So, let's get into it. Just about.
I was just spending time with you. It was a good little pleasure getting to know you. And I hope you will be there for the rest of
This
my
is
Hi.
an interview.
Will be. And I hope you will be too. And it's been the privilege of my
They're getting
life.
married, aren't they?
They
really are.
Yeah. I hope you let my friendship be one of the things that Hello everyone, Jesterbell aka Female Frodo Baggins is here, but maybe not Female Frodo for long, because I am planning to grow my hair out and I don't know if the Female Frodo effect will still be there. But anyway, my next video on this channel after this one is going to be my review for Wicked for Good, which I kind of had it in my head this entire year was probably going to be a decent movie to go see, but after seeing the initial reactions, I'm not so sure. But I have to wonder, was it all worth it, the shenanigans that went on behind the scenes with this movie, if the second half wasn't going to deliver as much as people thought it would? Now, I'm still going to watch it and see for myself how it goes. Maybe I'll think it's a lot better, but here's the thing. Throughout the entire marketing of this movie, and this was like one of the few movies that Hollywood has that was probably guaranteed money at the box office, and I still think it will probably do pretty well. Like, this is the one thing, one of their few things that they had that was guaranteed to bring people into theaters. But I have to say, even for me, whereas there shouldn't be anything in the movie itself that really deters me from seeing it, this is one of those rare cases, where it's the actresses themselves that have always cast a bad net over this movie for me. Like, I liked the first one fine. I think that it is hampered by pacing issues. This is a 3-hour play that they stretched it into 2.5-hour movies. Did not need to be this long, and I think it really damaged the first one. But I've never had it so that a movie that by itself would probably be decent was ruined for me by the casting itself. I mean, perhaps I could say the same thing about Pedro Pascal coming in to Fantastic Four. I definitely did videos on that, and that definitely, I think that was just horrible casting.
Sorry, that sounds funny.
But for me, it's not even that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande weren't good castings for this role. And in the first one, at least, I thought they did a very good job. But I've just never had it before that you have people who are fine in their roles in the movie, and the movie itself is fine, but the actresses themselves, their real life persona actively turns me off from liking a film. Like, I haven't bought the first Wicked on Blu-ray because I'm like, do I really want a film in my collection with these two? And why is that? Because for me, it's like, usually I'm a separate the art from the artist type of person. Certainly, actors and actresses in the past have plenty of cheating scandals and plenty of shady dealings behind the scenes, but typically for me, if they keep it professional and they're just keeping their personal life separate from what they're doing professionally, then I'm fine with it. But the same can't be said for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Not the time, helicopter?
Hey everybody, Walton Goggins here.
Hey, would you look at that
Starting a
YouTube
business
video
is never easy,
with
but
an
with
ad?
GoDaddy Arrow, that endeavor is...
Ads, stop it. Stop it, ads.
That continues to grow and grow even through this press tour. Something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know. She's getting the fixing itch. But Cynthia Erivo's right. Oh, thank you.
The biggest pinch me moment for each of you on the set? Was it the day you arrived on the set or some special moment that happened during the...
These two ladies just creep me out. And while a lot of people might say that it is mean to say these things about Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, I think it's deserved, because I think that every aspect about these two ladies that people find off-putting, it's 100% from them. It's not right, and it's just indicative of two ladies with really, really awful lifestyles. So obviously, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are playing Elphaba and Glinda respectively in the Wicked franchise.
You hate them so
and
much.
Some of the things that people have been saying really creep them out about these two ladies is, for one thing, the way they behave on set. The way
I'm not a big fan of either of them, so I don't even listen. I don't listen to Ariana Grande's music. I don't. I've only watched her in Victorious and in Sam and Cat when I was younger, so I don't know anything about her. I remember there was a donut thing that happened a long time ago, and that's like a big scandal. And then I heard people saying that she was sleeping with like a man with a wife or something like that. He had a family or something, so that was something not too long ago. Those are reasons to not like her, I guess. But I still don't know much about her, so I don't know. I don't care as much because I don't know her, and I don't actually know if those stories were real or not. And I don't know actually any of them. I didn't look into them. I wasn't invested in her, so it's interesting. I want to know why you hate them so much. I knew nothing about Cynthia Erivo until she got the Wicked part, and then these two became like the main faces of the movie and getting interviewed constantly. So I have no idea what's up with her, and I have no idea what's going on with Ariana Grande. So like, just tell me everything. Tell me the truth.
They're constantly touching each other and babying each other, and they can't keep their hands off of each other. In all of these interviews, it's just such a touchy-feeling thing, in a way that I haven't seen with any other pair of actors and actresses ever. I mean, they kind of had that with Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal. They really need to tell actors and actresses that this does not help sell films if you have actors feeling each other up when they're on the press tour.
Wow.
But that is super odd, like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande just constantly touching each other. But in addition to that, not only are they constantly touching and babying each other in this really odd way that it would just, I'll get into it in a second. I have my theories on what is going on here, but
explain
not
it,
only
girl.
that, people have noticed
Them?
Why are Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande like so skeleton thin? I mean, they're not even thin. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are so malnourished that you can see their rib cage and their spine. You can see their bones peeking out through their skin. And people have noticed that about Michelle Yeoh after this movie as well. And I've actually seen other actresses, unfortunately. Now I guess the new style is to starve yourself so much that you can actually see your bones through your skin. I don't understand it, but let's go back a bit, because obviously these things are happening, and they're what people point out. And maybe some people are trying to stave off the criticism. Ariana Grande in particular has a huge fan base. But here's the thing. Like, this behavior goes back all the way to the beginning, where I just think that these are two awful people, and they're so bad. And it's always bled out into the production of Wicked itself. And that's what turns me off from the movie. So Ariana Grande, you can talk about all you want about how we shouldn't make fun of looks. We shouldn't try to read into things. We should be respectful. But Ariana Grande is an awful person. Like, she had a reputation for years beforehand of maybe being a homewrecker, about getting together with people who were in relationships with others. So
she did with a lot of people.
That was a rumor for years.
One person.
But she brought it to Wicked itself by having an affair with her co-star who plays Bach in the movie. And he was a married man with a kid in real life. And Ariana Grande inserted herself into this relationship and began an affair with this man and destroyed that marriage and destroyed that family that had been together for years at that point. And the awful thing is, it happened once again, obviously, on the set of Wicked when they were filming the movie. And that's going to be a major scandal. So the studio actually really, really tried to downplay it and make it sound like the guy who plays Bach, Ethan Slater. They tried to make it sound like he had broken up with his wife before he got together with Ariana Grande, and that was their narrative. And they really, really tried to downplay it during the promotion of Wicked. Only after the Wicked movie came out did the wife, the now ex-wife of Ethan Slater, come out and say, Ariana Grande moved in, made moves on her husband, stole him away from her. Not that the husband isn't 100% guilty for doing that.
Yes.
And that now this poor lady who had her entire life destroyed by Ariana Grande over what she did, gets to see the promotionals everywhere she goes, on like the high rises and the big buildings and the posters of Ariana Grande starring in this movie with co-star Ethan Slater, her husband that she stole from her, and gets, you know, the Oscar buzz and all these accolades and all this praise for starring in this movie, even though this was the very movie that literally destroyed this woman's life. So yeah, Ariana Grande is an awful person. In real life, she is a well-known home wrecker at this point. And once again, it would be one thing if this was just an awful person who was just keeping that separate from whatever she was doing professionally. But this was brought on to the production of Wicked itself. It was a part because she chose to have that affair with one of the co-stars of this movie. So perhaps I don't feel so bad on that front, that people are going after Ariana Grande and the odd behavior elsewhere on set. Also, I just want to say she comes off as so fake to me. She is always finding a new fake voice to put on. And yes, she made the excuse in interviews that it's to protect her vocal cords. I don't buy it.
I said that. Don't give him any ideas, man. Is hosting an awards show the worst possible gig?
No, this was actually like a huge debate. That's a good question. It just comes off as so...
That one sounds the most like her. This is the one that I remember outside of like her acting voice. The second one sounds like Kat from Victorious. She has like that lighter tone voice. And then the first one sounded like she was putting on like a black accent. Like she was trying to pretend to be black or something. Like she had like a lull to her voice that only black people usually have. Very specific.
Fake to me. But getting into the other stuff about Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, like the constant touching of each other on set.
I know, it's not long, it's just too long. Let's not do that.
Build a website you love with Wix. Where your words...
Some people, it's really hard for them not to believe that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have a more than friends relationship. Like this image or this video of Cynthia Erivo fixing Ariana Grande's necklace when it's not, there's nothing even wrong with it. Just constantly having to feel each other up and baby each other. A lot of people think that there might be something going on behind the scenes that is more than a friendship. Now, I have to say, well, I guess it's possible for two women to be in this very odd relationship with each other, where there's all this constant touching and feeling each other up. And also, Ariana Grande is very performative, so it wouldn't surprise me if some of this is an act. But also, it just wouldn't surprise me if the other is true as well. And just even the idea that these people are doing stuff behind the scenes also is damaging, because Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are with different people now. But that's the whole thing. These two ladies have a history, both of them actually, of getting together with people when they're already spoken for. Cynthia Erivo is currently married to a woman, and that woman that Cynthia Erivo is married to, she was actually in a relationship with another woman when Cynthia Erivo and her got together. So, and then Ariana Grande, we've already gone through that history. So these two have a history of hooking up with people when they're already together with others. So to say that these two aren't getting together when they're with because they're with other people now, it's like that hasn't mattered to them at all in the past. And so that just heightens these rumors that all this touchy-feeliness from Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande together is much more than just a really tight-knit friendship like they're trying to portray it as. And that also is a big turn-off to this movie. Now, also, there's, once again, just how sickly they both look. And a lot of actresses in Hollywood are looking like this now, but we see it specifically, like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana used to actually look like people. There's always been a thing in Hollywood where you have to look the thinnest, you have to look the best, and a lot of self-abuse and self-harm can come because of that. But I don't think it's ever been more obvious than what we're seeing in actresses right now. clearly there's some sort of eating disorder going on. Clearly there's some sort of self-harm going on. To starve yourself and to potentially take drugs, I'm sure maybe Ozempic is in the situation, to the point when you have your spine and your bones and your rib cage showing to everyone. There is nothing attractive about it. This is not about keeping up looks. This is merely self-harm. And I can't help but think to Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mother Died, who was Ariana Grande's co-star on Nickelodeon. Jeanette McCurdy talked about how her mom would make her calorie count even as a child because her mom just wanted to make her more young and marketable for as long as possible, and that led to, you know, really destructive eating disorders later in her life that took her a long time to get over. And that it just didn't become even about looking the best anymore. It just became about these habits and, you know, the abuse started by her mom, and how now she was in these really self-harming habits just all for most of her life until she was eventually able to get over it. So I see it, and this is why I don't have a problem with people calling this out. I see what is potentially going on with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande and these other actresses as not just a trend or I have to look my best, but a form of self-harm, especially considering what Jeanette McCurdy revealed about the abuses that go on with child actors and, you know, especially at Nickelodeon. And Ariana Grande also coming from Nickelodeon with working for a man who we know was a known PDF file and videos of like him being creepy with her. I'm sure Ariana Grande has gone through some horrible stuff, and that maybe that is some of what led to this behavior in the first place. But like as Jeanette McCurdy's book like showed, just because you've gone through that does not mean that that needs to define you forever. And Jeanette McCurdy was able to get over those eating disorders. But I don't know, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, it just seems to be getting worse and worse with them. And so it's just really hard for me to see them paraded around and celebrated in this movie when they have such bad habits themselves, and, you know, paraded around in a movie that a lot of little girls are going to be watching, and there's a lot of merch for little girls. It's hard for me to watch that when I just see that these are such unhealthy ladies on both a mental, physical, and I would say a spiritual level. Like Cynthia Erivo does not look well. Like she looks very, very sickly, and for all people making fun of her for that, she didn't always look this way. And I think that it's just indicative of how she's treating herself and what she's getting into behind the scenes. So what I want to say is, like, we don't want to make fun of people who have disorders and like have a lot. I know that Ariana Grande in particular had a lot of bad stuff most likely happen in her life, and I remember her saying that her parents got divorced very young and she was in therapy at a very young age. But it also just doesn't excuse this, because it is entirely possible to work very hard and get yourself out of this. But it just seems like these are two ladies that are just swirling in it and getting further and further into it. And at some point or another, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse for Ariana Grande to treat other people the way that she has treated them. And there's just no excuse for this kind of behavior to other people and towards themselves. But yeah, that's why it just is so hard for me to get on board with Wicked. And like, regardless of how the movie turns out, maybe it'll just be fine. Maybe it's not great, but maybe it's fine. We'll see. But it's just hard for me to ever like this pair of movies fully, because just too much of the actresses have bled out into the movies themselves, from the promotion and for what has gone on set. And it's just hard for me to watch it in this case and separate the movie from those two actresses. And it's an odd situation, because I don't think that they're badly cast. I just think that they are so destructive in real life, you know, once again, mentally.
Look, it's an AI
There's 8 billion people in the world.
Physically and spiritually, that it is so hard for the movie to get away from that. And I think that this should be a warning for the people behind the scenes, because I do think that it matters. I do think that it matters when your actresses have just become so unlikable that it does turn people off. Because Wicked, the first one, did very well, and maybe the second one will as well, but I'm wondering, could these movies do even better if it wasn't for how these actresses are in real life? And they cut the Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo press tour short, saying that Cynthia has vocal issues, and so in solidarity Ariana is quitting the marketing tour as well, which is funny because they have to do everything together. Ariana has to do everything with this woman who she can't stop touching, who is totally just her friend. She has to completely advocate. She has to completely remove herself from doing interviews just in solidarity with Cynthia. But it's like, I am also wondering if all of that was an excuse to just get them off of the promotional tour because the people behind the scenes might be realizing that they're doing more harm than good. But I just wanted to get that off my chest, that I've just never had it before. It's even worse than Pedro Pascal, where I was upset at him getting cast in so many things. But with Ariana and Cynthia, it's a case where it's like they just can't keep it in. There's just no way to hide just how much self-destruction, but how self-destructive these two people are behind the scenes. And I think that it's really tainted this movie and this pair of movies. And it's a big deal because this was one of the few things that Hollywood had left to sell. And these two actresses really did not help in the situation. But that's all I got for you guys today. What do you think about all of this? Do you think that I'm too harsh on Ariana and Cynthia Erivo? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.
Okay, so my opinions. I didn't see any of that stuff because like I just said, I don't pay attention to any of them normally. Like I'm not into this kind of thing, so I don't look for press tours. I don't look for interviews of these people. I haven't watched one. I didn't even watch the trailer for Wicked. I didn't watch any promotional information. Nothing. I didn't know those two were cheating. Like he cheated on his wife. I didn't know that happened. I didn't. Yeah. That's probably why I could watch it and have it completely separate from the actual, the actual people themselves. Like I just see them as straight up actors and not themselves inside of the movie. Because I'm not close to them in that way, if you get what I mean. Like, I'm not into their music, I'm not into any of the stuff they're selling on the side. I am only into the movie itself and interested in it because my partner is. It's not that serious for me. That is super interesting. I like this introspection of what Jesterbell is seeing here. It makes sense, yeah. Because they are very handsy, and, those are things that me and my partner would literally do together. We'd just like touch hands and stuff or like hold hands. It's funny a little bit, and like it's just we're having fun. It's interesting. But yeah, we also don't know like their relationship statuses, and what their relationships are like in private. Whether their partner is okay with them doing this with other people, because open relationships do exist, polyamorous relationships do exist. We just don't know if, maybe Cynthia's partner is alright with this, and maybe Ariana Grande, if she has a partner right now, is alright with this. We don't know. And we probably never will, because we're not in their relationship. They're in their relationship. Okay. Well, ignore that.